Hey, welcome to the Cigar Room. Hey, I wanted to finish up my series on exiting Crossroads. This will be Exiting Crossroads Part 2. First, I want to give a shout out to Stock the Bar Vodka. You see this label? This is a black-owned vodka maker, Stock the Bar Vodka. I want to always give them a good shout out, man. They show so much love to the show. And a shout out to the Scent Station by Missy. Check her out. She ships the Scent Station by Missy. And I also want to give a shout out to CBJ Cigars. Check them out, CBJ Cigars. They're on Instagram and you can check them out. Great cigars. One of my favorite cigars, CBJ Cigars. So I want to finish up this last part of the series, Exiting Crossroads. One of the things that I kept thinking about, exiting Crossroads, making a decisive decision on which direction I'm going. I don't want to make this video to make it sound like I want to put pressure on people to make a decision and always be progressive and pressure. I want you to understand that at some point you will have to make a decision, but I encourage it to be an educated decision. And decisions are hard enough. I just encourage you to be educated. So do your due diligence in reading, grabbing resources, talking to respected people in your life. But above all, making sure you're making the best quality decision for you and your family. These are the people that are going to be affected most directly by your decisions. The inadequacy of decisions, they come with so many consequences. The incompetence that people have when they go through with decisions usually is because of a high emotional response to it. It's not a quality decision. It's not that you actually just did your homework and made a quality decision. A lot of it's an emotional response to something, and because of pride, you just follow through with it. You just follow through with it with pride. When you're changing, when you're making decisions and making quality ones, people are going to question you. This is a fear a lot of people have in exiting Crossroads and making a decision to leave a situation or a place in your life where you're not sure which direction to go or what to make of all of this. The thing that people fear a lot is what people think of them. Even though a lot of you might say, I don't care what nobody thinks of me. The truth is, most of you do. I know I did at one point in time. I cared a lot what people think. But then I start thinking, let me consider the source. Let me consider who it is that is telling me this or talking to me. Do I respect their decisions a lot? Do I respect what they've done? Are they an unselfish, considerate person that's talking to me? These are good, resourceful things to understand when you're listening to certain people. Are they really looking out for my best interest? Or is it that they just have so much bad energy and doubt in them that they'll just say this to anyone? It's not specific to me. Most people that are around you have some extent of love for you, but everybody doesn't have good intentions for you at all times. Considering what people are thinking when they're talking to you, considering what you want people to think when you're making a decision, these things you constantly juggle with. I understand, I've been there. I'm there at different points in my life still today, and it never will end. As long as I'm living and as long as I'm making some form of decision making, it will be a balancing act to some extent. I understand that. That's why when I make decisions, I have to understand I have to deal with what comes with it. I have to deal with what comes with it. So when you're at a point and you're thinking about what people are going to think of you, because some people don't care that you changed. They just don't. They don't care what progress you made, even though it's considerate to say, oh, okay, that's good for you. Oh, I'm happy for you. I don't wish bad on nobody, but they don't really wish the most success for you either in real life. People are selfish a lot. and they don't really care about what you're doing and how progressive you've been lately, a lot of them remember what you did when you hurt them. A lot of them remember that they feel like it should have been them instead of you because they may have been the first one with the idea or the first one doing something that made some type of attention come to them where they were recognized for something at first and then people stopped recognizing them for it and now it's you. And they feel like it should be them. And it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because they lost the fire in them to do anything about their situation. So they're taking care of and sustaining their current life. But they're not going after anything anymore like you are. And it's uncomfortable for those people. I want to tell you that those kind of people, you can't pay attention to a lot. But they're going to make a lot of noise to make you pay attention to them because they're going to constantly make you feel inadequate. They're going to constantly make you feel incompetent. They're going to constantly take shots at your ego. They're going to constantly take shots at what you're doing. But it's on you. We can control two things in this life, our action and our attitude. It's on you. What are you going to do? Are you going to pay so much attention to it that it fades you from where you actually can flourish? What are you going to do? When you're at that crossroad and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got to make this decision or I got to do this. I really want to do this. I want to invest in this or I want to do this. I want to start to do this. And the thing is as you're doing it, you're getting in so much good new information. You're excited about it. So you're telling the people that's closest to you. But everybody that's closest to you isn't like you. Some of you are actually a one of one, if you will, a rarity. An anomaly. Like you're not common. You're extraordinary. But to them, they try to make you feel humble as if you're not as extraordinary as you actually are. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. I encourage you to constantly give yourself to the same resources that help benefit you spiritually and physically. Give yourself to that more often because it's going to help you get over this hump, which is the doubt. There's not the inside doubt, but the doubt from others, and specifically those people that make you feel uncomfortable about what you're doing, make you feel like you're being weird, you're changing, you ain't being real no more because you're not being one of them the way they think in their stagnant place that they're at. Make you feel like what you're doing is a pipe dream. Oh, you act like you better than us. Are you acting like you ain't? Oh, you acting like you good and you goody two shoes now. We remember you. We know who you are. We know what you are. Don't let the people of your past create a presence in your life so strong it disturbs where you're going in your future. Please examine the people that are around you. Not before you do anything, just examine them while you're doing what you're doing. Because all information is not good information. All people that love you don't say loving things. Be considerate. Consider the source. What are these people are in your life? What have they done in their personal life? How have they handled their personal decisions? Are they really looking out or are they really just shoveling out doubt? Be considerate of who the people it is that are talking to you. People like, whoever it is, I got to listen to it. I love this person is they looking out. They got a point. They got a point. And you look and it's just a point. It's just a thing they said that resonated with you. Well, cool. You keep some of that information. Like my friend from Stockton Bar, Delray said, you chew the meat and spit out the bones. That's what you have to do. So when you're at that place in your life and you feel like you're changing and you're doing different things, you're being progressive, everybody isn't going to be as excited about you as you. You're going to be the most excited about what you're doing. Now, you're going to have some people that's going to be overexcited. And then you're going to have people that are not going to be as excited. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. Sometimes people just never seen it before. They never seen you accomplish or finish anything. You've never seen you accomplish or finish anything. So you have to go do it. You have to make the best of it. You have to be the rarity, the thing, the person that actually does exactly what you said you were going to do. It's so pleasant when you find your place and having integrity instead of just trying to do random stuff. I'm doing this now. I'm doing that now. Did you never finish nothing out? Now you may be at that place where you're going to finish something out. It doesn't matter what it is. You're reading a new book that's influencing you. You're watching a new show that's inspiring you. You heard an interview. You heard a show, or you're talking about different things. Anything positive that's influencing you and impacting your life. Somebody's gonna have something to say about it that's gonna be counter to what you're saying. As you're making those changes, don't be afraid to actually keep going. Don't take so much time out to listen to those 1, 2, or whatever many people it is that just constantly doubt you. Consider what they're saying. Is it a lot of doubt? It's ways to go about that. It's a lot of doubt in what people are saying. Be considerate of who they are, what they've accomplished, what they've done in their lives. It's no reason to throw it back in their face. Just you personally, just be considerate of who it is that's talking to you. I'll read you a quote from Ken Levine. He said, "We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. Ultimately, what we decide has the potential to shape our day, year, and even our destinies." That's from Ken Levine. And from Sean Covey, who wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I love that book. We are free to choose our paths, but we can't choose the consequences. Every decision will bring about some form of consequences. We can make our own choices, but we should do so carefully. And it goes back to that point where you got to deal with what comes with it. You have to. And I think one of the hardest things people have to deal with is having the understanding that I created this. I have to deal with what comes with it, even if it's positive. Because it takes time to yield those results. You have to learn through repetition. You have to create those habits. You know, I'm a big believer in strength comes through resistance. What did you resist to develop the strength you have now? You have to have good repetition, and to build strength. Good repetition. You have to constantly make more repetition to build that muscle, whatever it may be, whatever muscle you're building, whatever thing you're trying to make stronger. So when you're getting to a place, and there's going to be constant crossroads in your life, constant decisions that have to be made, I encourage you to always consider that there's resources out there. There are people that have been there, done that. Please go find them. I didn't have a lot of people to just help me along the way. There are people that had pinpoints in my life where they helped me. But a lot of times I had to go in these books, and I was not an avid reader. I was not a person who just read a lot. I had to commit to that. I had to discipline myself to do that. And I had to develop my mental strength to withstand what was coming. I failed more than I succeeded in my life. But that's what comes with it. It's a lot of L's before you get to those wins. And then you're going to have some wins. But I can tell you for a fact, I'm not scared to fail. I'm scared to not try. Because the result could have been outstanding for me. But I just didn't try a lot of times. And that I want to make sure I overcome that fear. But I can tell you for a fact that even though I had all these L's, the W's were so overwhelmingly great that it made me forget about the L's. It made me forget about them at times. Like, oh, I remember when it happened. It happened. I failed that, or I had a shortcoming on that. I just move on. And when I finally had to W's, like, man, like I finally figured it out. I finally got it right. There's nothing more satisfying, because after you got it right, whatever it may be, you got it right from that point on, and you just build on it and make it, perfect it. Whatever it is. I encourage you to try to commit to being disciplined in each decision. It's hard enough with the distractions that go on in our normal lives and disturbances that happen. But if you continue to just doubt yourself or let things creep in and doubt you, and people tell you be more realistic because they're a pessimist. They only believe in what's the bad outcome, what will go wrong, what can go wrong will go wrong, and that's the only way they think about it. And you're too optimistic, you're too naive. That ain't gonna work. You're not doing nothing special. You're not doing nothing nobody ain't did before. You know, and because of certain things you may want to do. You may want to take a different job, and you know the responsibility that comes with it, and you're like, man, am I ready for this? Or you may want to go accomplish something else, losing weight, getting more fit, being more health conscious, and you know, you're around people who don't live that lifestyle and they're not accustomed to the way you're eating now. And like, why are you eating like that? I'm good. I am. They like me thick, or they like me like this. That may be good for them, but you personally, you know what you want. You know what you want from this life. You know what you want to do. You know what's affecting you. You know what makes sense for you. You have to look out for you. You know, and that term can come off as selfish. But in all honesty, who's going to look out for you better than you? You know exactly how you feel throughout the day. There may be moments where you are hurting, but the other person around you who may love you the most doesn't even understand how much you're hurting. You have to do things for you and make sure that if the people around you and love you, they'll be considerate of it. The people who absolutely love you, they'll be considerate of you. But the thing about it is you have to question yourself, is what you're doing a selfish thing or a helpful thing? I can tell you for a fact, selfishness is a fine line in helping yourself and being selfish. It's a very fine line. Selfishness usually has some type of fear involved in it, a lack involved in it. It has a lot of negative things involved in it. What a kind of cut off what you don't want to deal with, what you don't want to see, what you want to just don't want to anything. It's a lot of fear, lack, misunderstanding, miscommunication involved in selfishness. Things that where you're thinking about yourself and preserving yourself has everything to do with benefiting you in a way, spiritually, physically. You're doing things that actually help. A lot of times, the people around you can help you, that love you. If you have to take time and clear your mind and what have you, it's one thing, but why are you doing it? What is the reason you're doing it? And the thing about it is, whatever that reason is, if you keep coming back to it, it's because of decisions you haven't made yet. It's decisions. Don't escape something that you can make a good decision about, because it's going to stay there. When you come back to it, it's going to still be there. You might make a decision, be like, I'm gonna be more health conscious. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna start working out more. But all the food in your refrigerator is still bad food. So you're going to the gym to escape and get your body right and working out. Then you're being counterproductive by what you're eating. I'm gonna start getting my mental right. I'm gonna start reading more. You constantly start reading more, then you're counterproductive with it by taking in all type of negative, bad information from all these other sources. There's no reason for you to give yourself to certain things and be counterproductive in the end. It's on you. You know what's working out for you, and you know what's not. You know best. You know yourself best, and you know when you're doing something counterproductive. Make sure you understand that when you're going to a place and you're making a decision, you know what's counterproductive. You know the decision you're about to make is going to be bad or going to be good in the beginning a lot of times. Now, we can't account for the result all the time, but a lot of us do know sometimes we're making selfish decisions. And then we're saying it's because of things. One of the clear-cut ways an unselfish decision doesn't ever have to be justified. An unselfish decision, when you're at a crossroad, when you're at a place in your life, when you're trying to go this way or that way, or get better in some way, shape, or form, make a better quality decision, it doesn't have to be justified. It does not have to be justified. It's pretty logical. It does not have to be explained too much. It's pretty logical. It's pretty reasonable why you're making this decision, for people that actually are considerate of logic. It's pretty logical. Like, well, that makes sense. Absolutely. Now, not for the people that actually are chasing something that's a dream, or trying to make progressive steps in something people never seen before. People that are around you may not clearly understand it. But I can tell you for a fact, it doesn't have to be justified. A lot of times it does not have to be constantly justified. If it has to be justified a lot, it's more likely a selfish decision. It's more than likely a selfish. It isn't for everybody. It isn't to help anybody. It's just helping you. And that's a hard thing to do when it's more than just you involved. Be careful. Those consequences, like, those things, those consequences that come with those decisions. Are you doing enough to withstand? Are you doing enough? So I just encourage everybody, when you get into those crossroads of your life, understand there's no reason for you to just all out be selfish and only consider you. There's people maybe more involved in what's going to happen in your life. It impacts other people. But just try to get resourceful. Reach out to those different resources. You can Google anything nowadays. Find books, resources, people that have been there, done that, can give the different dynamics of it away, whatever it may be. For anything, any walk of life that you're choosing that is going to benefit you and the ones you love. I'm a big believer in, when you're making a decision, to consider you and the ones you love. How it's going to impact you all. I think when you live in a world, when you got loved ones around you, you should be considerate like that. But that's just me. And if you agree, I appreciate you. But I think that's a big thing for people to do. So always be considerate of that when you're making those quality decisions and you're at that place in your life. I encourage all of you to reach out at any point that you have to. If you have to reach out to me and I can help you, I will definitely do so. But that will be wrapping up my Exiting Crossroads Part 2. And in a couple days, I'll be putting out the second part to Men Let's Talk to Our Boys Part 2. And on April 23rd, I will have my event that I'll be doing a live stream called A Night with the Stars, presented to you by the Cigar Room. Hope everyone out there has a blessed and prosperous week from the Cigar Room. Thank you. Have a good day.